Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about the law of assumption. And I've been working with Alice for about 6 weeks or so now, and quite a lot over that 6-week period. We started off with email coaching and it's gone over to some Zoom coaching. Now, I generally have breakthroughs with people that are stuck in this visualizing cycle and manifesting cycle. Basically, they're stuck like that and they want to pull away from it. They know that it's become detrimental to them. They want to pull away from it, and then we find ways for them to do that. I work with people's personality and what they're like, what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and see if we can get to a point that way where they feel freer and they feel like something is freed up within them, something has shifted, and they're able to move forward from that point. With Alice, we couldn't do that. Honestly, I actually got to a point where I thought, I don't know what I can do here. I really don't know what I can do, because she was completely stuck in this cycle, and she'd get it, you know, and we'd talk about it over email and the way she would go and practice with a switch word and all of the different distraction techniques that I teach. And she'd come back and I can't do it. And the more I try to do it, the more I'm visualizing it. It's crazy. The more I do it. And then she got so frustrated. And then we did have a Zoom call. We've had 2 Zoom calls now. The second Zoom call was the breakthrough. The first Zoom call, she was just broke down in tears. And Alice does not mind me saying that she's happy for me to talk about this in its entirety, so I can talk about her crying. But she wasn't crying with the loss of him. And bear in mind, they had not spoken for a year. They'd broken up about, I don't know, it's about 18 months previous, and they have had contact up to a year point, and then he had broken contact completely and told her he didn't want to talk to her anymore, leave him alone. She tried a couple of times after that, nothing at all, so she'd given up with that. She has been getting on with her life. She's got a good job, she's got lots of friends, she has had some dates and stuff. She's completely getting on with her life, but it's always there. She said it's always there in the background there, and she seems to every single day be visualizing and feeling like if she doesn't visualize, it's never going to happen. So the first thing I say to her is, look, you've had no contact for a year, you've been doing this for a year, something is not right here, something that you're doing isn't working for you. It's that, you know. And the thing is, we assign a label to stuff. So we assign to attachment to visualizing, let's say obsessive visualizing, we assign a label of bad, negative, resistance, attachment, and all of that, don't we? And I hadn't thought about this really before I was saying this is what it is. I knew what the issue was, because she had the vibration of I am not with him, with her every single day, so of course she was not with him. I knew what the issue was, but we couldn't seem to get a breakthrough, and I couldn't seem to move her forward. And I thought, I don't know what I can do to help. And I actually said this to her, Alice, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help you, because I feel like we're at an impasse, and I feel like whatever I do, you're coming back to me with an argument of why you can't do that. And then if you're going to keep doing that, then I don't see how I can help. But I completely got her frustration, completely got. Anyway, I came away from the first Zoom call and thought, I just don't, what can I do here? I don't want people to go away disappointed. You know, people are spending their money with me, their hard-earned money, and I want them to get something out of everything that I teach them, and everything I do is from my own experience. But I am a firm believer there's a solution to absolutely everything. This comes back from my retail days when I had a retail business, and I used to make up belts to order, and I make up the big sort of Victoria Beckham style corset belts, that kind of thing. And for some of them I used to use really expensive lamb's leather, and occasionally I'd make a mistake as I was stitching it up. Like, I'd be thinking about something else and I would make a mistake, and I would just stare at it and think, and once I just chucked some leather in the bin, and I remember thinking, I can't throw that away, I just can't. And I pulled it back out of the bin and thought, okay, there's going to be a solution to this. And I slightly changed the design on that, and I thought, yeah, there was a solution. Customer wouldn't have noticed, I knew, but you know. So every time that happened in future, I would just say, there's always a solution. I would sit there and wait for some inspiration to come to me, how I could adapt the design so that it wasn't really noticeable to the customer, and so that I could still sell, you know, I didn't have to throw that leather away and start again. So that stayed with me for always, that did. So every time there's an issue with something, I always think to myself, no, there's a solution. So I've always had that. So I had that with Alice. No, there's going to be a solution. There's a solution to this. I just haven't found it yet. So I said to whatever this is, give me some inspiration. I need some inspiration. I want to be able to help Alice, and I don't want her to go away disappointed. I don't want her to feel like she's got nothing out of this. So please help. Don't know what I'm talking to, but there you go. Reality, I generally sort of think of it as. And not that long later, I thought, we've assigned that negative label to what's going on with her. We just need to assign a positive label to it. It was as simple as that, and it hit me, and I thought, yeah, that's all we need to do. And it hit me to a point where I thought, this is going to help a lot of people. Okay, it's not going to help everybody, but it is going to help a lot of people. And I was convinced it was going to help. I kind of knew it would help Alice. And as soon as we spoke about it, so we had another Zoom call, and I said, this is what we're going to do. We cannot work against what's going on here, because you can't stop doing it. You're not ready to stop. Let's look at it like you can't stop it for a reason, okay? You're not ready to stop it at the moment. How can we work with it instead of trying to rid yourself of it? It's trying to rid you of it. Let's just stop that. It's not working. Okay, let's assign a different label. The label of it's good. Every time I visualise, I am giving this momentum. I am kicking the magic in. I am making it work. There's only good can come of this. So we completely take away the bad and the negative from it. Why should we, whatever we assume is right, isn't it? So let's work with that, of course. And it was like a magic moment to me. And I thought, why have I never, I've kind of have thought about this before, because I've taught people before to see your attachment as a positive and change your feeling on attachment from negative to positive. So it's changing your perspective on what you're doing. And immediately, as soon as I said it, she just loved it. And she said, oh my God, I love that. I absolutely love that. That can't be bad for me, because it means I can carry on and I don't have to feel bad about doing it. And that's what I was trying to get to. Yeah, the reason it's becoming negative and building such resistance is because you're seeing it as something really negative that you shouldn't be doing. See it as something you should be doing. Let's just go with it. Let's do an experiment. So this was 4 days ago, and we've been in contact since then, and she's absolutely loving it. She said, I've completely changed. My whole feeling state has changed. When I do think about it, I just see it as really, really positive, and I feel it inside as this really awesome magic trick that I'm doing. That's what she said it as, and I love to think of it this as magic. I see it as that. She said, and my feelings about it have completely changed, to the point where she had gone out to the shops and she had bumped into his sister. She's never bumped into a member of his family, and the whole time bumped into his sister, had a chat about them as a couple, and they were having a laugh about different things that they'd done. It was a really nice conversation. And then her sister said, oh, he had been asking about you. He said, oh, it's really weird how we've never bumped into each other in all of this time, which was a funny thing to say, wasn't it? And so his sister was passing that on to her and saying, oh, I can't wait to tell him that I've just bumped into you and stuff. So this was a huge positive, because in all this time where she's had all this huge resistance, she's never bumped into anybody from his family, even though they live in the same city. She's never, nothing has happened at all. So I said to her, that is a sign that you have freed up inside, because this would not have happened otherwise. Where might this go from here? Awesome. But I said, don't look at what might happen from here. Will she pass it on to him? Will he then get in touch with you? Don't even think about that. Think about what you've done. Give momentum to what you've done. Why have you done that? Why has that happened? Your energy has changed. You are energetically different. You are not the same. You don't have that resistance in there anymore. And she said the key thing to note from this, she hasn't been visualizing so much since she decided that it was a good thing and it was a positive thing and it was to be embraced every time she did it. She said, I went like 2 hours and did not have him in my, as I say, conscious awareness. I didn't have him in my conscious awareness. She said that has not happened since we've split up. So that is having a knock-on effect for her. And she just said, if nothing else, I feel amazing. I feel brilliant at the fact that I can just do this. She said it's completely changed my whole, just everything. It's completely changed everything. And to go 2 hours without even having him in her conscious awareness was huge to her. And this only goes to prove what I say all of the time: there are no rules. It's all about you and what works for you. There are absolutely no rules. And if, the law of assumption is a thing, which nobody could tell me any different about this. I am a complete believer. I have complete faith in this being, what is going on here in my reality. Absolute and complete faith. So I know that if we assume something, not just assume something up here, because that's completely different, but assume something inside, decide that we are going to assume something different. And if we make it something like this that purely just deals with our feelings, we're not trying to assume that somebody is madly in love with us or obsessed with us, or that. We don't go down that route when there's a ton of resistance, but assume something different about your feelings. So assume that you're feeling, whatever you're doing, assign a different label to it. It's as simple as that. Just give this a go. If you're struggling with this, give this a go. I mean, again, it's a bit like the Marion technique of the healing technique. Immediately, I knew that it was going to work for people. I knew, again, that it wouldn't work for everybody, but it would work for some. As soon as I get a feeling of something inside, a real positive buzz about something, I know that if I've had that feeling, other people are going to have that feeling with it too. And it has changed things around for Alice. Who knows where she can go from here? She said she feels huge possibility with everything now, because she's always felt like over visualizing was a really negative thing. And you know, I'm a culprit for maybe making people think that too, because I haven't ever stopped to look at it another way, because I've managed to really help people get away from doing that. So I've never had to look at it a different way. So I believe that when I speak to clients, they teach me something too. I get something from everybody that I talk to, because it reminds me of stuff. And with Alice, it got me to look at this situation and look and think, why am I banging my head against a brick wall trying to, you know, if something's not working, it's not going to suddenly work. If I'm doing the same thing, it's not working, it's never going to work. I need to look at a different solution. And that is what's key here. Don't just look at videos and think, oh, that's the way I need to be doing this. No, you don't. You can do whatever the bloody hell you like in order to make yourself feel better. So look at a solution for you. This may not be the solution for you, but if this helps, hopefully for some of you, you'll think, oh my God, that has completely taken away that resistance for me. That's awesome. See it as magical, see it as a trick, see it as a hack, see it as the thing, or whatever it is that you're stuck with. You know, change your perspective on it. It's all about that, all about your perspective. And like I said, this was a kick up the arse for me, because it made me think outside of the box again, because we do go along, and I, you know, do go along doing what I'm doing. And sometimes it takes something like this for me to look at things differently. Exactly the same with Marion's healing technique. And if you don't know about that, there are videos about that. And if I can remember which ones they are, I'll link them below. It just is a kick for me, and it reminds me that there's always another way. There's always a solution to every single problem that you might be having, issue that you might be having. Even seeing it as an issue is a thing, isn't it? You're assuming that it's an issue. Let's not assume that anything is an issue. I don't want to waffle on too much and make this more complicated than it is. It's about changing your perspective on whatever's going on within you. If you're feeling like something is negative, so even attachment to the outcome, if you're feeling like that's negative, let's look at that as a positive and change that feeling state within you. As soon as you change that, your energy changes. And once your energy changes, everything changes. Your feeling, do you know what? If your feeling state changes and you start to feel good, there's nothing better than that. Don't look for any other outcome than feeling good. Then other things will come, but don't look at that. Just look at, I'm feeling better. There's nothing better than that. That's it. I'm going to stop. Thanks for watching. I'm an author. All of my books are listed below, all based around the law of attraction. I offer Zoom coaching. I'm pretty much a month booked up in advance now. I offer email coaching. That's slightly different than maybe a few people do it. That's slightly different than maybe a lot of coaches do it. And the reason I do it this way is because it works for me, and it tends to work for other people as well. It's fairly informal. So basically you pay a fee, £65, and you get a month access to me via email. You could send me as many emails as you like within that time, from Monday to Friday. You can send me emails at the weekend, but I just won't answer them at the weekends. But during the week, I'll prioritise those emails, and I will answer you and come back to every single email that you send me. So basically it's email access for a month. And it seems to really work for people because it's very casual, and if you work and you can't allot time to get back to me with your emails, you can just email me in the evenings. And sometimes I'll answer you in the evenings. It might not be till the next day, but I will always get back to you in good time. So, you know, go to my website and read a bit more about that. I offer personalised subliminals, generic subliminals, which are also on my website. And I do also offer a one-off email, and that's not one that many people go for, but some people do, that have got a lower budget and just want a really, so you email me your situation, everything that's going on with you, what you're feeling, what you've done so far, as much information as you can give me, then I will send you a really, really detailed email back, giving you a plan of action. Best way forward for you given what you've told me about yourself and your situation. Okay, that's it, I think. My son Harrison has a law of attraction channel. That's Harrison Ellis. That's listed below. He also has a podcast, which I will list below for him because he's just started that, and I think that's quite enjoyable and quite fun to watch. Nothing to do with the law of attraction. And that's it, I think.